I remember a time when I was living in Los Angeles, there was the opportunity for me to be a part of a girl group. We had the vocals, we had the look, we had the moves. It was like a no-brainer is what we were told. It was like, what the heck? So our voices were like, our energy was like, we were just like, yeah, let's do this. We got managers, we got a demo together. The way that I describe it's like the typical LA story. You know, you have everything going for you except LA, except a bunch of people that think being Filipino is not marketable. It's a bittersweet story because it was like the most exciting time. It was also super heartbreaking because the industry wasn't ready for us to be like, hey, we're Filipina and hey, we're amazing. As the last episode of Filipino Women's History Month, I want to talk about these three incredible musicians who are paving the way for Filipinos to break into the industry and to be proud of the fact that they are Pinoy. So exciting. Mabuhay and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tez Milan. I am a Filipina-American creative who is on a mission to do a deep dive into my lost Philippine heritage, to learn as much as I possibly can and to share that with you. Today I got a little bit more dolled up than usual because on April 3rd, we have a grand celebration known as the Grammys. In case you've been living underneath a rock, which I doubt you have been, but just in case, the Grammys are given for outstanding achievement in the music industry, specifically in the United States. It's probably the biggest dream of most, if not all, musicians to one day in their career receive a Grammy Award. Thank you, Mom. It's not really a Grammy, but you know, it's the closest thing I could find to a Grammy around here. So the reason why I'm so jazzed to share this with you is not only because I had an espresso just before I filmed this video, it's because I have watched the Grammys ever since I was a little girl. The reason why this particular Grammy ceremony is so important and so special is because this year we have 3 Filipina-Americans who are up for some major awards. The 3 ladies who I'm talking about that you'll see grace the red carpet at the Grammy ceremony are H.E.R, Saweetie?
We are looking at how to pronounce the name of famous American rapper Saweetie. Saweetie.
H.E.R, Saweetie, and Olivia Rodrigo. So the Grammy nominations for these ladies is just off the charts. They're not only nominated for one award, they're nominated for multiple awards. Let's take a tally of how many awards they've been nominated for. Olivia Rodrigo has been nominated for a whopping 7 Grammy Awards. Saweetie has been nominated for 2 major Grammy Awards. And this year, H.E.R comes into the Grammys being nominated for 8 awards. The Filipinas are taking over. Now, I'm not sure if you knew that they were part Filipino, but indeed they are. And what is so cool about this particular year's Grammy Award nominees is the fact that they are proud and loud about the fact that they are Filipina. As we've seen many Filipinos grace the music industry, a lot of them, how should I say this? A lot of them didn't necessarily show or share the fact that they were Filipino. I don't necessarily blame them for that because not even more than 10 years ago, it was pretty hush-hush if you were anything besides the major ethnicities that people knew about. And even then, it was still hard for major ethnicities in the United States to share who they were and to get exposure in the mass media. I remember at a very young age watching a movie called Wayne's World. And the guy that I was dating at the time, he turned to me when we were watching the movie and he was like, Tez, you know, the girlfriend in the movie, that girl, H.E.R, she's Filipina. And I was like, what? There's a Filipina in a major movie? Yes, H.E.R is Filipina. However, in times past, I remember seeing news coverage about her where it said that she was of Spanish and Chinese descent, not necessarily that she was Filipina. Then I remember my mom telling me about Enrique Iglesias, and I was like, who the heck is Enrique Iglesias? And she's like, he's the son of Julio Iglesias. And I was like, that really schmaltzy guy from the 70s and 80s who like wooed all those women. And my mom was like, yeah, he's the guy that women would like throw their underwear at when he was singing on stage. And I'm like, his son is Phil. And she's like, yeah, his son is Filipino. And I was like, what? She's like, yes, the woman that Julio Iglesias had Enrique with is Filipina. And I was like, oh, wow. But nowhere in the media, at least when I was growing up, did I see Enrique Iglesias, he's Filipino. Look at him now. You know, it's like nowhere on mass media did I see them sharing that he was Filipino. It was always some sort of like, hush, hush. Oh, by the way, did you know he's Filipino? And only people in Philippine communities would be like, hey, he's one of us. But then there would be nowhere in the news where it would say, oh yeah, he's Filipino. The most recent recent example that I can give where I feel like the same thing happened is with Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is also half Filipino. His mother is Filipina and his father is Puerto Rican. And I also just saw on Wikipedia that his father is actually half Puerto Rican and half Ashkenazi Jewish. And if you remember, I'm 0.2% Ashkenazi Jewish, so maybe I have some kind of relation with Bruno Mars's dad somehow. Maybe some like great grandmother or grandfather decided to like, you know, get together with somebody who then ended up on a ship in the Philippines. Who knows? Anyways, so I remember when Bruno Mars like hit the scene and he was like the biggest thing since sliced bread, that people were like, hey, did you know that Bruno Mars is half Filipino? He's from Hawaii. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. But nowhere did we see, hey, Bruno Mars, Filipino, Filipino, Filipino. All we saw was that he was ethnic. I want to share with you that one of the biggest motivators for me doing this channel was to share all of the amazing things that Filipinos and Filipino-Americans are doing so that we can finally go, hey, look, by the way, did you know that Bruno Mars is Filipino? Isn't that amazing? Hey, did you know that H.E.R from that movie way back when in the 90s, she's Filipina too? But what's amazing is that over the last, I would say probably year or two, there has been this like new influx of celebrities who are like, you know what? I'm Filipino. Pinoy pride. Woo! And it's just so cool to finally see major celebrities broadcasting wherever they can and wherever it's appropriate the fact that they are Filipino, including H.E.R, Saweetie, and Olivia Rodrigo. Let me just give you a few examples. The first time that I saw her share with the world that she's Filipina is when I saw that TikTok that she did back in 2021, just after she won her Grammy for the song I Can't Breathe. I remember scrolling through TikTok, which I didn't do very often at the time, but the first thing that popped up in my feed, maybe because they think I'm Filipino, maybe because they know I'm Filipino, I don't know. But the first thing I remember seeing on my feed is this post by H.E.R where she talks about one of her titas, which in case you didn't know, tita means aunt, and she shares the reaction of one of her titas to her winning a Grammy. And what's really cool is that this particular TikTok has 5.5 million views. Yes, let's share this culture with the rest of the world.
My Tita Joanne would say, oh my God, I am so proud of you. You have Grammys. Wow. Diamond? Is that diamond? Even if you do not win, you are still a winner. You are a winner. I like that song you sing. I can't breathe.
So many of the things that she does in this TikTok, I have either heard my Filipina titas saying, or my mother has said that to me. My mom co-wrote lyrics for a song that I did when I was like 9 years old called I Am a Winner. And I remember my mom saying the same thing to me. She's like, I am a winner. And I had to sing that over and over, and I thought it was like the cheesiest and the grossest thing ever. But you know, what do I know as a 9-year-old? I just think everything my mom does is just like not cool. But the fact that she shares this really super cute TikTok about what her tita would say to her about her Grammy Award wins. It's such a, hey, I'm Filipina. Hey, I want to honor my heritage. I want to share what's so amazing and so funny about our culture and our family and the way that we love and support each other. So that was the first time that I saw a major star share with the world the fact that she's part Filipina. And I remember I was like, yes, because it was actually at that time that I had just started thinking about doing this channel. And then I was researching and scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through social media, trying to find examples of anybody sharing that they're Filipino who's like a major star. And then that popped up and I was just like, yes, things are changing, things are turning. And it's just the most thing. It just makes me want to fist pump, you know? So the next example that I want to share with you that shows that Filipinos are now saying that they're Filipino loud and proud is the dress that Saweetie wore to the Met Ball. Oh man, when I saw this thing, I was just like, oh yes. And I think this was the Met Ball last year. Oops, I was looking up something else then. Met Ball Saweetie. What is so cool about this dress is that she is paying homage to her heritages because she's part African American and part Filipina-American. In her dress, she shows off in the most gorgeous, elegant, beautiful way the flags of these two communities. So on the one side, we see the colors of the Philippine national flag. On the other side is the Black American heritage flag. The thing that is so rad about the way that she wore this dress is that people like Rihanna, other major stars have walked up that staircase and they've just like flaunted their dress. And Saweetie did the same exact thing. She took that staircase, she points and she stances, she does her stance and she's just like, look at my dress, look at the flags on my dress. I'm Filipina and I'm Black and I'm proud of both. And even the front, the dress itself just shows off her femininity and her body and everything that's just fabulous about this girl. She's flaunting it. She is flaunting the fact that she is Filipina. And that is such a cause for us to feel so proud of where we come from and what it is that our community is doing to add to the world of music. Yes, I just love this. I love it. I know that there are other stars that have been doing this for years, and maybe it's the mass media that hasn't given them the voice in which to share this part of their culture with the rest of the world. The reason I say this is because the research that I did about Olivia Rodrigo shows that ever since she was a little girl, starring on the Disney Channel and capturing the hearts of young people everywhere, she has been very vocal and very proud about the fact that she's Filipina. There's a video that she shares where she says,
Kamusta, Philippines? I'm Olivia Rodrigo.
Which means, hi Philippines, how are you? And she says things like,
I'm a Filipina. I'm a Lumpia fan. I'm a daughter and a granddaughter and a great-granddaughter.
According to this article by yournextshoes.com, she says, my heritage is a part of who I am. On the Disney Channel's YouTube account in honor of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month in May of 2017. So that was 5 years ago. She just turned 18. Yeah, she's only 18. I mean, she's just so young. So that means that even as a young child, she was already sharing with the world that she was Filipina. Yes, I love it. Seeing these women who are being nominated, who are being honored with such incredible awards, especially for music, to see that they're also sharing with the world that they're Filipino, it shows how far we've come. It also gives all of us a sense of pride to say, yeah, you know, before we weren't allowed to share with you that we were Filipino, but now things have changed so much that we can share that. And it's actually a really good thing. That's it for this episode. Thanks for putting up with me and my espresso energy. I know it's probably a lot. I hope it was worth it for you. It was great for me. I enjoyed myself. If you get a chance to watch the Grammys, give a big cheer for her, Saweetie, and Olivia Rodrigo. Not only because they're Filipino, but just because they are incredible musicians. Wishing all of them the best of luck. I hope that they win as many awards as possible. Continue to share that they are a part of this culture that is just so rich and so entrenched in music. And that they continue doing what it is that they do. And they continue to make millions and billions of people happy. Thanks again for joining me for this last video of Filipino Women's History Month. I'm gonna see you next Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern with a new episode and fresh Filipino info? I don't know. Until then, paalam, goodbye. I think I'm gonna go drink some water. It's actually a bowl. It's a bowl, not a Grammy, it's a bowl. One day, I'll win my Grammy. Ah!